Chase Thomas podcast. My nephew needs me to record. See, I already hate it. I hate it.
All right, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Chase Thomas podcast, where I'm still the aforementioned Chase Thomas, coming to you live from Knoxville, Tennessee. Everything School HQ, 12 days away. You know why it's a fine freaking Monday night here on this very show? 5-star edge Jordan Ross out of Vestavia Hills, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, committed to the Vols tonight to keep adding to the edge blue chipper after edge blue chipper after wide receiver blue chipper after running back blue chipper after quarterback blue chipper after linebacker blue chipper. Everything's coming up, Vols. JP Acosta of SBNation.com. How are you?
Doing good. I'm thinking about Sam Pittman's perfect day that he described to ESPN, and it is absolutely wonderful. I would like to be a part of that perfect day that he described. It is basically just he gets out on his boat. He orders a 25-piece bucket of chicken from Popeyes and a couple of chicken sandwiches. He's out on the boat, has some beer, makes a stop at Sam's, gets a pizza, brings the pizza back out onto the boat, rides around the boat for a little bit more, then gets in the pool. That is a perfect day.
That's a good day.
It's a good day.
You know what the better day is?
Who is that? Evan Sowards of 49ers Hub, who joins us as well. Evan, good evening. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So what is that perfect day?
Not having to drive the boat yourself.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to drive the boat. I want to drink on the boat. You telling me I can't have a beer on the boat?
I'd rather
No.
drive a boat than sit on a boat.
We know, Chase. We're aware. You can drive the boat. I'll drink.
Hold on. I'm looking something up.
You drive the boat.
Yeah.
And we'll take breaks so you can write in your journal, and then I'll shotgun beers while you write in your journal. Honestly,
time.
that's a pretty symbiotic relationship. That'd be great.
So
I didn't
you gotta make your way
realize
to
that
Tennessee, and then we can make this happen.
Oh,
I didn't realize
Tennessee
you could get arrested for like a DUI on a boat.
Yeah, it's called it's not a DUI though. It's a
it's a buoy.
what is it called? It's not a DWI. It's BWI, boating while intoxicated. That's what it is.
It's cops killing a good time.
I've seen it. I will say I saw it when we were on July 4th. My wife and I were. You're not gonna believe this. Evan's gonna love this. My wife and I were reading on a beach towel.
Let's not. Hold on, real quick. I do love that. I love that for you. I mean, let's not act like I'm some kind of monster. I really love that for you. I think that's probably
delightful.
the perfect day for you.
It was a perfect day. Also here of Behind the Steel Curtain USA Today, Michael Vick interviewer himself, Jarrett Bailey. Jarrett, good evening. How are you?
Fantastic. It's been an eventful day for me. I've been busy.
Well, that's good. That's good. We've got all kinds of stuff we're going to talk about. So with the NFL season coming up in just 1 second, and new NFL team owners having normal ones on Monday Night Football, football's back. Folks are trying to figure out what a handshake is, and we'll see if we can get that nailed down by week 3 here in the preseason, but fingers crossed on that one. Real games to talk about in just a couple weeks, but as we lead up, because we wrapped up our preview series with all the different divisions that you can go check out on the YouTube show or on this very feed. New episodes each Tuesday here on the Chase Thomas podcast with the NFL Super Friends, JP, Jarrett, and Evan. I thought this would be cool, but before we get into the obviously no, but what if game, with bouncing around different things we've been thinking about, and we're going to see how the group responds to some of these takes. The Colts announced that, or I guess it was announced that the Colts are okaying Jonathan Taylor to pursue a trade. We've kind of danced around this. What might happen? Would they actually do it? Who makes the most sense? What, based on the history, the most recent couple big running back trades in the sport, because we don't see it all that often, especially in their prime, like Jonathan Taylor. Jarrett, when you look at it looking like this is happening, who makes the most sense, and does the running back trade history for something like this make you wonder what kind of return the Colts can actually end up getting at this point in the process?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how the Colts will say they expect a first-round pick in return for Jonathan Taylor, yet they won't pay Jonathan Taylor. We wonder why NFL running backs are so angry. The team that makes the most sense, I think it's the team that most people were linking to Dalvin Cook. That's still the Dolphins. Like, if the Dolphins go out and get Jonathan Taylor, sure, I'd like that. The team that I want to see, just for the pandemonium, like, if I'm Howie Roseman, I'm speeding to the phone. And I think that if...
What picks do they have?
Do they have a second this year? I don't know off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure they do.
Well, I think it's going to take more than a second, because it's going to take more than Christian McCaffrey. They said that.
Well, here's the thing. They're not going to...
Do we believe that, though?
I don't think we're going to get more than Christian.
He's a younger version of Christian McCaffrey, and he was the leading.
But is he a better player than Christian McCaffrey? The best version?
I don't think.
Is he a better? Go ahead.
Honestly, I don't think. Like, is he better than Christian McCaffrey? I don't think that matters in this context, because I think the thing that's going to hold up whichever team ends up trading for Jonathan Taylor is they're going to have to pay Jonathan Taylor, and that's going to be a part of this. He's asking for a big contract. That's the reason why the Colts are going to trade him, because he wants a big money contract that the Colts aren't going to give him, which is dumb in my opinion. But when you're examining a Jonathan Taylor trade, is going to be anything like Christian McCaffrey? I mean, sure, it might be, but the thing about McCaffrey was he'd already signed his deal. He wasn't coming up for a big contract. That was something that a team could eventually restructure if they wanted to. You're going to have to pay Jonathan Taylor a lot of money.
So, JP, based on what we've seen with the Christian McCaffrey trade being probably the most recent example, what do you think, if you had to guess on August 21st, what do you think trade will end up being? And do you think the reaction around the league and analysts and fans will be like, oh, that seems about fair? Or do you think there's no way that the Colts are able to get pretty solid return here?
So, first of all, I do think there are a few teams I think are going to be in on Jonathan Taylor. The first one is the Los Angeles Rams. If there's any team that is willing to just throw picks at a player.
They don't have any.
They'll throw whatever they got. And they actually
28 first-round pick.
They actually do have a first-round pick, I think, this year. They have a first-round pick in 2024 and a first-round pick in 2025. They can do this trade if they want to. And I think it makes sense, especially for, like, of course, we don't think they're going to be competitive. But if the Rams...
Not everybody on this podcast.
If the Rams actually if they do the thing that I think they're going to, which is change the offense from more zone to more gap-based of a scheme, offensively, Jonathan Taylor does that a whole lot better than Cam Akers and is much more explosive. So, and there's a history of them going out and getting guys like this and then paying them top dollar. That makes a whole lot of sense. To me, the first team that I thought of as someone who should do this is the Chicago Bears. I think they should absolutely be on this. The biggest thing about Chicago, especially for their offense this year, is you have to find some way to generate explosives in the run game without having to run Justin Fields 25 times a game and getting him destroyed. That's what Jonathan Taylor can do. I don't think drafting Roschon Johnson and signing Deontay Foreman to a one-year deal dissuades me at all from making that deal. And plus, they have a lot of cap space. They're not going to be paying anybody anytime soon. That team is not good. So unless they plan on, like, keeping Darnell Mooney around for a long time and giving him a big money deal, like, it makes sense. They just gave Cole Kmet $15 million a year, or like $13 million a year. You can give Jonathan Taylor that amount of money. Like, I think Jonathan Taylor is more valuable to an NFL offense than Cole Kmet. But I do think
not unless Cole Kmet is blocking because Justin Fields is trying to not die.
that is very true. That's true. Very good blocker. The one team that I think quietly should make this trade is the Baltimore Ravens. I think
that's a fantastic shout.
Jonathan Taylor adds a level of explosiveness that, of course, Keaton Mitchell just got hurt. That was arguably their most explosive back, and he was a rookie. We don't know what J.K. Dobbins is going to look like. He's still recovering from another injury. Gus Edwards, as much as I love him, doesn't have that level of explosiveness as Jonathan Taylor does. The only problem there would be how much you're going to pay him. But I think the Ravens should absolutely try and swing this if they wanted to. Now, as far as compensation, I think it's difficult, but I do think he's going to end up getting a first-round pick. It's not going to be multiple. I think it might be a first-round pick and then multiple seconds or thirds. But I also wouldn't be surprised if the Colts don't get a day one pick out of this and get multiple day twos and push.
If the Colts get the best deal, who do you think it's from? If the Colts end up getting, if you had to look at it, who gives the Colts the best deal, and you would be the least surprised they gave them the best deal after it's all said and done?
It's the Rams. The Rams would absolutely do this. They have the picks that are willing to get screwed. Let
me as a guy who would love to see the Rams fail in life, let me just be the voice of reason real quick. We just watched the Rams successfully trade away everything for a Super Bowl ring. And they did it. And it worked. For whatever you can say now, it worked. They have a Super Bowl ring. I don't know if they're going to do that again right now, knowing where they're at, knowing that a Super Bowl is not likely. Jonathan Taylor is not going to help them win to the Super Bowl. Jonathan Taylor wouldn't get them to the playoffs, no matter what Chase says.
Well, counterpoint, if Jonathan Taylor ends up getting traded to the Rams and the Rams aren't competitive, they don't make the playoffs, who better to ease a transition from the Rams' current core of Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald into the future, whatever future quarterback they end up bringing in, than having an elite running back in Jonathan Taylor. This doesn't just have to be a short-term, this is only for the winning now thing. Jonathan Taylor can help a team win years down the line. And if they don't end up trading that first-round pick they have in 2024, they can trade the first-round pick they have in 2025 if they wanted to. But you can still stay in the QB sweepstakes this year and trade for Jonathan Taylor if they wanted to.
I'm not the only thing I'll push back on is in terms of the Rams doing it. I'm not saying they wouldn't do it. The only thing that would rub me the wrong way about them doing it is if you are a team like the Rams who doesn't have a good roster right now and you're giving up future, if you're trading a first round pick for a running back right now when your roster already isn't good, especially on the defensive side of the ball, that's just horrible roster management and horrible management of draft capital at that point. I'm not saying they wouldn't do it. I'm saying it'd be stupid if they did.
They weren't good at drafting anyway.
No, they weren't.
It makes sense that they would do this trade. I also think that if you're able to keep that 2024 first round pick and say they trade the second and the third in 2024, and then maybe the second or the first in 2025, I would take that trade. I think I have
a scoop for you guys here.
If they keep the first round pick next year, then I could listen to the argument a little bit more, just because if they are in the QB sweepstakes, they can still get a guy for the future and still have he's Cooper Kupp still there. You got Jonathan Taylor, so you got two guys on offense that'll complement them well. It's just if they were to trade their 2024 first for Jonathan Taylor, I think that would be a horrible waste of that.
No, I don't think they're going to trade the 2024 first. I think they know where they're at now.
Okay.
If they end up trading the 2024 second round pick,
I can get on board with that.
And then the 25 first or the 25 second.
And they have their first rounder. They have their own second round pick as well. They have their own third round pick. They have their own
last time they had
pick.
Their own first, second, and third round picks. It's got to be since 2016 or something.
It has to be something crazy.
It's got to be since the golf draft.
Yeah.
That was what, 2016?
Yeah.
Yeah. When was Rob Havenstein drafted? Because I thought they drafted him in the first round.
Rob Havenstein was a first round pick?
I'm trying to figure out if he was a second round pick.
Okay.
But it was 2015, so that was the year before golf. So yeah, it might actually be 2016.
That's crazy.
I love this. Also,
Jeff Fisher
I have a
was the
scoop
head
for you
coach
guys.
the last time this happened. That is absurd.
Guess
go
what
for
the
it.
mascot was for Jonathan Taylor's high school team, Salem? They were
What
the
was it?
Rams.
Oh my.
Look at that scoop.
Les
So-
Snead is on the phone right now.
You don't have to Photoshop him in a Rams uniform. Just go back to his high school tape. It's right there. Now though,
Wouldn't it be hilarious
Yeah.
though if Les Snead and the Rams do it again though?
I would be okay with
Just-
it.
Just
Who
trade for
cares? You
another
have
team.
Aaron
Oh, no,
Donald,
no, no.
Matt Stafford. You might as well
Yeah.
just ride this out. Like, just
Yeah, no.
keep throwing it.
I'm
Who
not
cares?
against that style of team building. They've shown it works. I'm saying it would be absolutely hysterical if in this, this era of football coverage where everybody's obsessed with the NFL draft and scouting players, if Les Snead just literally just keeps saying those picks, I'm gonna get proven talent. You guys can enjoy your war rooms. I'll see you. back in the
Diversity is
playoffs.
good, and I like teams doing different things. And I
I
like
do
the
too.
Rams just being like, burn the ships, burn the picks. I don't care.
You
Like,
know
I
what
don't
would
care.
be really funny is if Jonathan Taylor was traded to the Giants. that would be the funniest outcome of this entire thing. I would have to know what that Zoom call was like that Saquon Barkley called, and then the next meeting between Jonathan Taylor and Saquon Barkley in the same room. I'd be so pissed if I were Saquon. Like, what are you doing, man?
And then they pay Jonathan Taylor, and then like that's just part of it. And Saquon has to ride it out for a year, and then he just, oh my god, that
Okay,
would be.
we talked real quick. Hold on. We talked about the most likely fit
Uh-huh.
of the people that is most realistic. I think I know the answer. I think it's
Ooh.
the Ravens. But who do you think the most like who has the best chance of having a Christian McCaffrey 49ers trade season?
That's what I'm gonna say.
I feel like it's the
We've talked about this
Rams.
before.
Okay, could you stop? Can we have an adult
Okay,
conversation?
okay. Let's
Can we have an adult
let's
conversation,
pump the
Chase?
brakes
Can we not
on
talk
the
about the
Rams.
Rams?
Let's pump
I
the
think in
brakes on the
terms
Rams.
of
The
Christian
Rams are sitting over
McCaffrey
there with two broken
situation,
legs and two casts, and you're like, oh well, this guy should be next man up to get on the trampoline. Can we have an adult conversation, Chase?
I'll set it out. I'm sorry.
I
We
think
put on
in
some
terms
Van
of
Jefferson highlights.
if we're talking about a Christian McCaffrey like situation of a guy who makes an already good team great offensively, this one might be a little bit out there. Nah, maybe not. See, I was gonna go crazy, but they don't have the money for this, so forget I said anything. Baltimore would make the most sense out of the teams we've talked about. I was gonna get frisky and say the Bengals just for shits and giggles, but they've got too much money to tie up in their own guys right now.
Yeah.
The answer here is the Miami Dolphins. If it were to
Sure.
be like a Christian McCaffrey like level of making a good team, like a great team, like a Super Bowl
Absolutely.
favorite, it's the Miami Dolphins. They want to be more efficient in the run game. They showed they can be efficient in the run game. Of course, it was a preseason against the Texans. You can small potatoes it if you want, but them being more efficient in the run game matters, especially if they're going to be so efficient throwing the ball downfield and they're going to continue to be explosive that way. You add Jonathan Taylor to that offense, that run game becomes incredibly more efficient, more explosive. You really end up being in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
How much
I
do you
don't
believe in their
think
offensive line to get that done, though? Because, I mean, Teron Armstead's already dealing with injuries. I mean, do you believe in their offensive line enough to be able to establish enough of a run game to make that work?
When Teron Armstead's healthy, I think, sure. Like, I'm cautiously optimistic about how their run game looked. I think Isaiah Wynn looked great in the preseason game. I think Austin Jackson looked much improved. Robert Hunt is one of the better run blocking guards they have on the team. I'm in. I think if it does end up being the Dolphins, it makes sense for them to have like a McCaffrey style of like, we added this player and now we are a Super Bowl favorite, which makes sense considering like how much of the Niners is influenced, like the Niners influences in the Miami Dolphins offense. But I still just think the best spot for Jonathan Taylor to both be competitive and potentially get the money that he's asking for is the Ravens.
Can I tell you all the dark horse here?
Go ahead.
Speaking of the Niners, this guy used to be in the front office in San Francisco. He likes to run the football. They don't have a wide receiver room. They're a team that's fighting the inevitable, but they have a very strong identity. They have a run-first identity.
Don't do this. I'll
He's
leave
getting
the call
really
right
old. We're nearing
now.
the end.
I will leave this call.
They have a chance for 16 years of elite running back play in a row that we've never seen in this league. The Tennessee Titans transition from Derrick Henry to Jonathan Taylor.
I think you are insane.
If you think that they're trading Jonathan Taylor within the division, you are off your rocker, my friend.
Remove the division out of this.
You can't.
You can't. What are you talking about?
Are you serious?
Why do teams care about that? I don't know why that matters.
Because
I would never do this as a GM.
I don't want to play the guy that actively hates my team two games out of the year.
Who cares? If you get a good trade, you get a good trade.
And then he proceeds to dunk on you for 2 games out of the season.
I'm less worried about that with a running back than I am a quarterback. Quarterback, I maybe would be a little bit more cautious of.
That's because quarterbacks don't get traded.
Yeah. So I'm not worried about it.
The last time
Who cares? Anthony Richardson, if he's him, it doesn't matter.
The last time I can remember something like that happening in terms of like a very known player getting traded within their own division.
Yeah.
Probably have to be the McNabb trade going from Philadelphia to Washington.
That was a big one.
That's it. I also have to see what Derrick Henry's contract looks like because I don't think that he's like.
I think he's the second highest paid running back in terms of money per year.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when his contract is up. Like,
is it up next year?
I think it's next year. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't think they're gonna.
We're at the end.
Because that was the thing with Tennessee throughout this offseason that I was talking about because they didn't really have any more money tied up in Tannehill. Next year they're going to be, without Derrick Henry in terms of being off his contract. Like, that's why I preach all offseason. It just made sense to trade both of them and blow it up and embrace the rebuild. But they didn't.
They're not gonna trade Derrick Henry. I don't think.
Obviously not now, but like
does he get a statue?
March
in Tennessee, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he gets a statue.
Wait, really?
I think he gets a statue.
Yeah, he'll get the statue of a very good player that helped the team accomplish nothing.
Yeah, he'll get
wait, hold on. Wait, okay, listen. I'm a Derrick Henry I'm a big fan. Best friends Titans fan for his whole life. How many playoff wins did they have with Derrick Henry?
They went to the AFC Championship game.
They did.
I asked a question. I'm curious.
Outside of that 1 year, they have been
2 or 3.
Just meh.
Yeah, but it's 2. Sure, but like, how many playoff wins does Phillip Rivers have?
I totally agree. By the way, I think he's getting a statue. I'm just pointing something out.
You can make the case he might be is he the best Titan of all time?
No.
Steve McNair, you watch your mouth.
No,
McNair was good.
Steve
Derrick
McNair,
Henry's
dude,
the best Titan of all time.
He is not the best Titan of all time.
Who's better
Javon
than
Curse?
Who's
Eddie George?
I would say Eddie George.
Okay.
Steve McNair.
But I don't think Eddie George is a better Titan all time than Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was the best player on the number 1 seed in the AFC. Like Eddie George was never that guy.
Eddie George is a better Titan than Derrick Henry.
I don't know. I wonder what Titans fans would say. I want to pull some Titans people who they have more.
Derrick Henry will get in the Titans Ring of Honor. He'll get a statue because you don't just replicate leading the NFL in rushing yards for 2 straight years, being over 1,000 for 3 straight years.
Yeah.
102 yards per game in 2019, over 2,000 yards in 2020. Like he has the numbers.
Hold on,
he has the
real quick. You guys can hear him. It's all that matters. Chris, do you have a second?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, real quick. Who is, by the way, this is my best friend, Chris World, Tennessee Titans fan. Who is?
Put in my AirPod. My speaker's super quiet.
Oh, you son. He's putting his AirPod in. This was like really going to be seamless, but now he's putting the AirPod in. So no longer seamless, but okay. Who is the greatest Titan of all time?
Greatest Titan of all time? Eddie George, Stephen there.
I rest my case.
Hold on. You're allowed to say someone recent. Hold on. Would you ask him, Derrick, why would Eddie George be above Derrick Henry outside of you just don't want to say the most recent guy?
Because he ran for
over
1,000 yards in like 6 seconds.
It's Derrick Henry. It's just people don't want to say Derrick Henry yet because he's still playing and it's new and it's fresh and you feel like it's Derrick Henry.
In no world is Eddie George better than Derrick Henry. Like that's
I'm not saying he's a better player. He is a better Titan.
Makes the playoffs without him.
That's true. That's true.
He is
Thank you, Chris. It's been a pleasure.
He's a better Tennessee Titan than Derrick Henry. Yes.
Yeah.
How are you defining this? I don't get that.
Okay. Here's how I'll do this.
The Titans had
Is it just the Super Bowl, JP? Are you just giving him the Super Bowl nod?
No. You know what I'm doing?
What?
Rookie of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year 1996. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight seasons of over 1,000 yards rushing. Then 2 more straight seasons of 1,000 yards rushing at age 29 and 30. Derrick Henry has had 3 straight seasons of over 1,000 yards rushing. That was 2018, 2019, 2020. Derrick Henry was not a starter as a rookie. Eddie George came in immediately and was the guy. He is a better Tennessee Titan than Derrick Henry. And Jarrett, I'll explain it like this. LeBron and Dwayne Wade both played in Miami. LeBron is a better player all time than Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade is a greater Miami Heat player.
Okay, that makes okay. I'll give you that one then. My apologies.
That was really
I'll
good.
concede that. That was a good point. That was a good counterpoint. I like
Okay.
that. And now we know Titans fans will go Eddie George first, which is interesting.
Because he was awesome.
Yeah. But see, Falcons fans, I would be curious to say, like, if they would say Matt Ryan is the greatest Falcon of all time, because I think he is.
They're going to say Matt Ryan.
I'm
Yeah,
curious. I don't know.
But would you? I mean, but wait. I will say this: Tony Gonzalez deserves.
No.
I think of Tony Gonzalez more as a Chief than a Titan.
Yeah, like that's a problem. That's problem number one. Like Tony was awesome, but Falcons fans have a stronger pull for Algie Crumpler than
that's a good
Tony
point.
Gonzalez.
That's a crazy pull, Algie Crumpler.
Algie Crumpler was a baller. Loved
Dude,
Algie
Gonzalez
Crumpler. Him and Vic
Tony
had
Gonzalez
great chemistry.
He had the same amount of years with the Falcons as the Chiefs,
Who?
right? Tony Gonzalez.
I'm
No,
looking it up.
I'm pretty sure he had more years with the Chiefs.
Yeah, there's no way.
I think it was like
Really?
12 years with the Chiefs and like 5 in Atlanta, something crazy.
They
like
were
that.
good
He played for a
5.
long
Like
time.
Tony Gonzalez was
They were
elite,
good 5, yeah.
but it just, I don't know. Love
He
Tony
had
here.
5 seasons. 5 seasons in Atlanta. 3-time Pro Bowler. All Pro in 2012.
I think
How
that
many
was
years
because
with the
during
Chiefs?
For the Chiefs from 1997 to 2008.
Yeah,
So that's 12. That's
11
dude, I
years,
was
12
spot
years,
on.
11, yeah.
I'm great.
yeah. I don't know. It's either Matt, it's either Matt, it's Mike. Vic just wasn't around enough, and then Work Done. I have a Work Done jersey. Folks love Work Done here more
Work
than
Done-
just.
He's a great human being above being
Yes.
a great football player, by the way.
He was consistent. Like Work Done is one of the most revered Atlanta Falcons. If you just go around, like if you had to, Bob Whitfield is loved. Love a good Bob Whitfield. Very
Shout out
pro
to
Bob
Bob.
Whitfield here.
I mean,
John
I mean,
Abraham actually has really high.
The greatest Falcon all time is Dion, right?
No, he just wasn't here long enough.
No,
How long was he
He
there,
might be
by
the
way?
best player to ever play for the
Yeah,
Falcons.
but it was just
He
not.
the greatest Falcon.
No.
yeah,
He's
no,
there for
he is.
what?
Dion is the greatest
years?
gun for hire of all time.
I mean, he played the Falcons and the Braves in the same year. Like
What?
he played a Braves postseason game and batted 400 the same year he was playing for the Atlanta Falcons. Like
What about Julio?
Dion's just
Oh, Julio. Yeah, I would listen to the Julio. Yeah.
Julio. We love Julio's in the top 3. He's like would always be in everyone's top 3. He would not be anyone's number 1.
You don't think?
No.
I can see it. I
I'm
think
trying to think of
the way-
the Steelers.
the way
Well,
people
hold on.
think of quarterbacks.
Well, while we're here, who's the greatest 49er of all time?
Oh, it's Joe.
Jerry Rice.
Wait, hold on. Is it
It's
Jerry or
Jerry
Joe?
Rice.
I think it's
Jerry.
Joe.
Is it Jerry or Joe?
It's Jerry Rice.
It's Jerry.
Very
No,
much
it's Joe
Jerry.
Montana.
Because Jerry won with Joe and Steve Young.
I think it's
Ooh.
Jerry. I think it's Jerry Rice because I
Jerry
think
Rice
Jerry
is
is the
absolutely-
greatest NFL player of all time.
He absolutely is.
I would not go that far. would
I
not
I
think
mean,
he is.
it's him or
say
Tom
he's the
Brady.
NFL player of all time.
No, it's him, Barry Sanders, Jim Brown. I think. Are the
I didn't say most.
three.
I didn't say most athletic. I said the greatest of all time. And no, Jerry Rice is the goat.
I would.
know.
Yeah, I think Jerry Rice is the goat.
I think I
His
am
prime lasted
biased.
like 15 years.
I think I am biased because I've been wired to hate offenses. Lawrence Taylor is the greatest NFL player of all time.
Oh, you know what, JP? You might have just. Yeah, that's a very.
Like in
solid
terms of
point.
reinventing the position.
Yeah.
Okay,
And like
yeah,
the
but
sport-
Ronnie Lott lost a finger, so let's just
Congrats.
Yeah,
Let's just
that's
relax.
great, but that doesn't make him
Congrats.
better than Lawrence Taylor.
Should have found the finger and put it back on.
Listen, if you would have given Ronnie Lott a lot of cocaine before every fucking football, before every football game, you tell me how he plays, okay?
You know what? That was just a superpower. That's just.
What do y'all do if y'all get you lose a finger in a football game? Do y'all keep playing? How do you? In all honesty, like you're in high school, what do you do?
Dude,
I'm
If I lose
certainly
a
not
finger doing-
playing.
if
Okay.
I lose a finger doing anything, I'm crying in the corner, like doing the
Okay.
armadillo
No,
and like
no,
pissing
hold
in
on,
my
hold
own
on.
mouth. Like
If
I'm a
I-
mess.
If I
Hmm.
lost a finger and they surgically remove it, all yada yada yada, Are you talking about the game of, or are you saying just in general?
No, the game of. Like it's someone steps on it with some metal spikes, and it just like the finger's off. Like
Which
you've
finger?
lost half the finger.
No, I'm done.
Okay.
I think there is a very interesting part of this when it comes to like adrenaline and the sensation of like playing a football game. You probably won't feel it until you come off to the sideline.
Well, yeah, and there's
Actually
like
lost half
all
a
that.
finger.
They're like, JB, where is it? Wait, what? JB, you're missing.
If I saw that I had lost a finger, like on the sideline, like say it's like third down, and like finger is off, like third down, it's fourth down. I come off the field for punt. I probably feel fine, like adrenaline wise, but now that I start to slow down a little bit more and see that my finger is just not there, then yeah, I'm losing my mind. I'm not.
See, I think I immediately go to the car. I think with the adrenaline, I think that's real. I'm running and using that adrenaline to drive 80 miles an hour to the urgent care with the finger and hope that they can attach it in time, even before I realize the pain that's about to overwhelm me and pass out.
They had doctors there. Who do you think made it so
they can't attach it there? They're not going to be. They don't have the equipment.
Downgrade, not to like make it sound any less badass than it was. It wasn't the entire finger. It was, the upper part above the knuckle. I'm not downgrading how much of a badass thing that is that he still lost part of his finger and kept playing, but he still has like part of the finger. That's all I have to say.
I mean, no one was. I don't think anybody was ever unaware of the circumstances.
I'm just the way that Chase was talking is that he thought that he's holding his entire.
No, I'm just saying if that happened, I've always wondered like if some crazy event like that happened in a game, because like there's some crazy injuries. Like how do you? Some guys are built. They're like keep playing the next play and I'll deal with it after the game. Or what?
Byron Leftwich played an entire game on a broken leg. They had to carry him down the field.
Yes, he did. I watched that game live.
Dang,
fun time.
Wait, what was that game?
I watched a lot of Marshall games live. I have a strong Chad Pennington, Byron Leftwich portion of my brain that is not. That was early 2000s.
When did this game happen?
Broken
leg
game.
That was 2002.
Yeah, I was 11.
I was 2.
Oh no!
I would have
watching that game.
I would have been 3 turning 4.
Yeah, this was. Well, the folks, Evan and I, the folks on the left are the grandfathers of this very program. And goodness gracious. Well, this is going to be fun. So now,
indeed.
Yes, we are. Obviously not. But what if, Evan Sowards, what is one NFL take that you are like, obviously this isn't going to happen. But if it did.
What if the Rams... No, I'm just kidding. What if
great audio?
Yeah, I'm sure it's great audio, very suspenseful. What if Brock Purdy gets hurt like Alex Smith and Trey Lance, who I thought was completely written off?
You've horrified Jarrett.
No, hold on. Before I thought was completely written off, but then had Ask JP a pretty decent game.
It was
comes
pretty
back,
good.
And they go to the Super Bowl and win.
I'm just hold on. Let's hold on.
Evan's fanfic, like he's fanfictioning Brock Purdy out of here again.
First off, it's not a fan fiction to assume that the 49ers quarterback is going to get injured. That's about as realistic as it gets.
I don't think it's saying that he gets injured. I think it's the fact that he chose the most traumatic, like modern injury.
Brock Purdy almost died.
No. First off, when Alex Smith got injured to lose his position to Cap, it was a concussion.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about the other one.
Alex Smith has been in a lot of places and been injured a lot of times.
Yes, we thought you were talking about the Washington injury.
Stay in the 49ers lane.
Oh, you had to qualify that because everyone listening was like, "Oh my god, that got really metal." Like Evan,
I totally forgot that Alex Smith even got hurt, and that's why Kaepernick was like the 40. Anytime you say Alex Smith injury, you think of his leg being inside.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. I forgot he got injured in 49ers. I thought he just got benched and Colin took over.
Wait, really?
Okay.
Yeah, I have no recollection.
I thought that was like an NFL, that was a moment for the NFL.
No.
Yeah, no, he had a concussion.
That's just a moment in Santa Clara.
I mean,
wow.
Colin Kaepernick's game against the Chicago Bears, his first game ever starting, was not just a Santa Clara moment. That was an NFL moment. That was incredible.
I remember that. I was 12.
But no, but like literally, assuming the 49ers will have an injured quarterback because it always happens. I only say this, and I hate to talk about the 49ers constantly, but like, I was like, oh, this is the end of Trey Lance. He played not great in the first preseason game. He looked decent. He looked kind of exciting, JP. Tell him.
He looked pretty good. I think it was improvement based on what we all knew. He needed to play. He just needs reps to figure out what he can and cannot do. Now that he's figured out what he can and cannot do, it looks pretty good.
The footwork was good.
Footwork was a little cleaner. He threw that touchdown. Of course, it looked wide ass open to I think it was Latu, the tight end, in the 2-minute comeback. But it was such good quarterback play of looking off the safety, holding the safety to the left, and then coming right back over, firing the strike to Latu. That's something we really didn't see, especially in like week 1 where he looked just frazzled under pressure. He looked pretty good, and he really just needs reps. So, like, if it does happen and we go through like a Freaky Friday level like role reversal where Brock Purdy is the one who gets hurt now and Trey Lance just completely like goes berserk in this Niners offense, it would be interesting to see what happens next, because Lance is coming up on the you give it like maybe like a couple more years. You got it. If he actually has to ride this out, you got to pay him eventually.
But then you have to trade Brock in this scenario, because Brock is now an NFL starter. He will not be a backup.
Then he goes back to exactly what he was supposed to be in the first place, which was a very good backup.
Exactly.
Backup.
I don't think that's where he belongs now. He's won too many games. He's got that moxie. He doesn't have a backup energy.
Nick Foles won a lot of games. Rex Grossman won a lot of games. It happens.
The kids back in the day would have said, "You're getting lost in the sauce," and you don't get lost in the sauce. Okay, Brock Purdy, to every normal person on the planet, they go, yeah, he looks really good when Kyle Shanahan and this team are around him. He will not look like that anywhere else.
But I'm saying if this happens, he's starting quarterback. He's QB1 in Tennessee the following year.
Sure. And then they get a worse Ryan Tannehill.
It'll be Nick Foles going to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is he doesn't see himself as a QB2, and he doesn't carry himself as a QB2.
You better look in the damn mirror.
I don't think. First off, don't speak for. I wouldn't speak for Brock like that. Brock's a really humble guy, and I'm sure he's very happy to be there. But that does not speak to me like someone who's like, yeah, this was the plan all along. He's like, I cannot. I mean, do you see what he came to the game? He looked like a. I mean, literally, he looked like a Mormon going door to door to like preach the word of God. Like, he looks like a child. I'm sure he looks around every day and is like, do they know that is anyone paying attention? Like, he doesn't think that he's like, I'm QB1.
I don't think that's true. The interviews he gives and the way people talk about him behind the scenes, where he's got a lot of confidence. I think he's just a quiet, confident, like, I'm making the Niners the last pick of the draft. Like, I'm doing this. I'm going to ball out, head on a swivel. Like, I'm just going to outwork everybody. And he plays extremely confident. Like, I don't know. I think he's different.
He's very good at keeping the car from careening into a ditch.
Yeah.
But
like, he's not scared of the moment.
If we're going to keep up this car metaphor,
yes,
the Chiefs have a car with a guy who's driving it that can go 200 miles an hour.
I thought you were going to do a Cars reference. You've been doing a lot of Cars references on Twitter.
The Niners can only get to 120.
Okay.
With Brock Purdy. You're not trying to stay at the top of the division anymore. You're not trying to just win the NFC West anymore at this point. You are here to win the Super Bowl. And to win the Super Bowl, you're going to have to defeat Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, those guys. If you don't have a guy like that under center, you're not going to win that game. So
ever since JP said about the Freaky Friday thing, if that does happen, I expect Trey Lance to do like a full cover of the song with Chris Brown and Lil Dicky in a music video form. Like, I woke up Brock Purdy. Oh my God, I'm the man. I think that.
I didn't think of that Freaky Friday. I thought of the actual movie. I don't know if I want.
Oh yeah, with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't know if I want them to actually do the song, because there are parts of that song that
that'll be the 49ers ram it.
I don't think there are certain parts of that song that Brock Purdy should sing.
No,
so
obviously, yes.
I'm just gonna leave it there. But I can definitely see like a whole like Brock Purdy gets hurt, Trey Lance comes in and just makes this offense even more insane than it is already.
Okay. I like it. Of course not. But what if Bill Belichick gets fired in the middle of this year? This is something that I think, like, of course not. The greatest NFL coach of all time. This would never happen. They wouldn't just fire him in the middle of the year. This thing got really weird. If you read the Patriots reporting over the years, the Kraft-Belichick relationship, a lot of guys out of that room, that front office, a lot of brain drain over the years. Last year was not fun. This division is stacked. Like, if the Jets have a great year, if the Dolphins are healthy and Tua's healthy, and they're moving the ball, they're doing great. They're winning a lot of games. Their offense is fun. The Jets' offense is fun. The Bills are obviously going to be a lot of fun. What if the Pats are cellar dwellers in the AFC East? And we're looking at like 3-14. Mac Jones is a disaster. Everything is bad. They're awful offensively once again. You can't scapegoat Matt Patricia. Would the Pats have the confidence to fire Bill Belichick in the middle of the year if they're eliminated from the playoff picture in Week 10? Of course not. But what if they did it?
At first, I have to ask, when they fire Bill, are they firing Bill the GM, Bill the coach, or both?
Both.
Someone would immediately hire Bill Belichick if he wants to keep doing this. Like,
I just
mid-season, it would not matter. Like, dog, if Bill Belichick were to actually become like a free agent of a head coach, as soon as the Pats fire him, I'm on the phone.
Bro, I want it to happen now. This is something that I need.
Less than 2 minutes. I'm like, hey,
who's the
dog, we
team?
got a job
Who's
for
the
you.
team? Who would scoop him up
They're
first?
firing Saleh so fast in New York.
Who cares?
They are firing. Robert Saleh will be running up and down the bleachers pregame, and they will fire him before he makes it down to make sure that Bill Belichick can harm the Pats the way that he harmed the Jets for so many years.
I don't think he would go back to the Jets, though. I mean, he
I
left the
actually
Jets
think that-
for a reason.
I actually think if we're playing this out, there is one team that would be like, they'd be insane with an actual like coach that people believed in.
Hold on, let me see if we're on the same wavelength.
The Steelers?
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, you say that they would be insane with a coach that people actually believe in.
Yes.
Okay, so that the Chargers?
No. The Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my God.
Like,
I'm moving.
People already don't like Mike McCarthy.
Oh my God.
I'm moving to Bali.
If we're playing this out and Bill Belichick actually gets fired, Jerry Jones is on that phone without a doubt.
Well, Bill, I've told Mike McCarthy he can respectfully.
Bill, I'm
going to give you. You're on your way.
I don't care.
I'm going to give you 3% of the city of Dallas for you to come on in here.
I think the Cowboys GM has done kind of a good job. But if Bill Belichick were to become available, Jerry Jones is firing everybody. It doesn't matter. He would give him half stake in the entire Cowboys franchise if that were to happen.
Do you know who I love the Cowboys take? Because Bill Parcells did go to Dallas, and Bill Parcells was the Belichick mentor. I think there's another team that if Belichick wanted to go ultimate petty and like look at it as saving his legacy, there's one team that he would go to for like hey, he wants to go into a warm area, a warm climate after spending so much time.
No.
Come on, man.
Their coach already is a bottom 5 coach in the league.
This is so stupid.
He goes and takes over the Bucks and just tries to win a Super Bowl with the Bucks to just catch up to Tom and say, "See, I can win a Super Bowl with the Bucks too, Tom."
Oh, that's
He
funny.
calls him the day after the Bucks win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
He's like, yeah. How you like me now, huh?
Yeah.
We both
Couldn't win without you, huh? Couldn't win without you. Is that Kyle Trask holding up a Lombardi trophy? What's up?
Anybody can do it.
If we're playing,
It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh my God, I love a Jimmy Garoppolo, Bill Belichick, Tampa Bay Bucks Super Bowl story. That's what the world needs.
With Aiden O'Connell.
I was just about to say the Raiders because Tom Brady's already there. McDaniels.
Look, this could be like a little Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine thing.
Yes.
You could go all in onto the Star Wars nerd lore. You're the Raiders. You already wear black and silver. Let them just go be Emperor Palpatine. And Josh McDaniels doesn't have to be a head coach. And you can turn Aiden O'Connell into Tom Brady if you want to.
Oh, I love this.
Does that make Mike Evans like Han Solo?
That makes him Han Solo.
Good teammate, Mike Evans. I forgot who else was new. He's like, he's the best teammate.
He's a good guy. Or maybe that's Chewie. Mike Evans is Chewie.
Okay.
He's tall as hell. Good teammate.
I don't watch Star Wars. I don't know.
So
We're missing out, man.
Well, I guess
You have the Killing Joke poster behind you.
I guess this is kind of going to
Great
like
graphic
previous like Bucks teams and like Brady teammates.
Yeah.
I always assumed Gronk was Chewie.
Ooh.
Like Gronk is very much a Chewbacca.
I think,
But Chewie's not fun. Like,
no,
Gronk's
hold on.
fun.
Let me say, Gronk is R2D2.
I was thinking R2D2 too.
Just kind of going and bouncing around, having a blast. Woo!
He just pops in. He's weirdly important. Like he's storing some important messages, and you're like, you can't win without R2D2, but you can't win without Gronk.
He's just riding on top of Tom Brady like the ship. You know what I mean? Just hanging on like, this is great.
I love this. Jarrett, of course not. But what if?
I don't know if I can top the Belichick one, man. That was good. That was very good. Of course not, but what if? Oh, goodness. I'm trying to think of like a good Steelers one.
The Steelers don't have a winning season this year under Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I think that would be a good one. Of course, like I genuinely think they're going to be a good team. So let's say, of course not, but like, what if the Steelers just bottom out? Everything goes worst case scenario. They finish like 6-11. Of course not. What if, similar to yours, would the Steelers fire Mike Tomlin in that situation?
Absolutely not.
No,
they don't fire people.
I know.
If the Steelers fired Mike Tomlin, who do you think would have a bigger riot? Not in Foxborough because there's nothing to riot, but like in Boston for the Patriots or in Pittsburgh?
I think it'd be the Steelers because I think Patriots fans are kind of like, hey, we're kind of ready to move on.
Over Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially after Brady won a ring.
And here's the thing, man. There's a lot of Steelers fans still on like the anti-Tomlin bandwagon, and there always will be, until he starts having more playoff success. I know he wouldn't be fired. I'm wondering what they would do at quarterback if Pickett just is very obvious, is not good. You know, all of the preseason hype was just hype. It's just clear he's not the guy. I'm wondering what they would do in that situation because this is a franchise that is historically patient.
Did they go Kyler?
Well, my question was, how bad are they? Like in this scenario, like are they bad? Are
you like thinking Caleb Williams here?
I was thinking like Drake May.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
Either way, like, are they bad enough to be there, or are they stuck in like the Bo Nix, like Riley Leonard area?
Let's say they're picking like 8th.
That's a perfect spot to trade up. Like that. Like, hey. Like,
hold on, is Riley Leonard, by the way, going to be a first-round pick?
I don't think he's going to be a first-round pick.
Okay, that's a rise, man, for him.
He's from Duke. He's really good.
Like Drake May played at Duke.
No, North Carolina.
North Carolina, different blue team in the state.
Come on, get your Tobacco Road straight, Jarrett Bailey.
Yeah, Riley Leonard is right now QB3, but I think that's like the ripe area to trade up if they want to get like Caleb Williams, Drake May. But I'm just like thinking about the scenario, like if Tomlin ends up fired, like who do they bring in? Like who is the next person?
There's no one on the Steelers coaching staff that would be the head coach tomorrow.
Like every time they've done this, they have done an internal hire from within the family. It is very much like Godfather. Nobody comes in
Tomlin,
outside
I think, is the last
franchise.
Tomlin's like the last guy, like big hire that they went from outside. Everything else, I guess they brought in Todd Haley at OC from outside, but since Haley, everything's been hired from within. They haven't gone, I guess any coordinator, like they brought in Brian Flores as like a special assistant and everything.
Hold on,
but
could Bill Cowher finally come back?
Oh,
would he Bob Stoops it? Would he do 2 years to get the gang back together and get him back on track and then right off into the sunset again?
Bill Cowher comes back as head coach. Ben Roethlisberger is offensive coordinator. They're bringing the band back together.
Yeah.
Would Bill Cowher want to do that? Like,
I don't
I
think
feel
so.
like he's,
How old is Bill Cowher?
let's look
In
at
the
him.
60s.
He's got to be younger than Bill Belichick.
I think he's like 64, 65.
Oh, he's 66. He could do 2 years.
Does he want to though?
He's got a nice, comfortable job.
He's been retired
CBS.
for a long, long time. It's not just like he's been retired like for maybe like 3 or 4 years. Like Bruce Arians was out of the game for.
How
a
long was
couple of years.
Gruden out of coaching? He was gone for like a solid 6, 7. But
John
Cowher's been
Gruden.
gone.
John Gruden is not a real person. Like that. John Gruden is not a normal person at all. We know this by now. Oh, not normal people do what John Gruden do.
Bill Cowher hasn't been an NFL head coach in 17 years. I don't.
Wow.
think
He is.
That's wild to say.
That man is perfectly fine not coaching football anymore. I don't think.
But
he
wouldn't it
wants
be
to
sad
come
if
back.
Tomlin went out because he just stuck around with Matt Canada too long? Like he just couldn't move on from Matt Canada. What a silly way.
What a strange Brokeback Mountain situation that would be. I can't. I wish I could quit you. And Matt Canada.
Can I quick question? It's preseason football. Can we talk about what's going on right now?
What?
The Washington Commanders have defeated the Baltimore Ravens, ending.
Oh, is it over?
It is
Ending
over.
the longest streak that doesn't matter, but still really matters.
Ending the most pointless streak in the
Hold
history
on.
of sports.
I need to know if
Joey Sly, 49ers legend, kicks the ball, kicks to win the game.
I need to know if there's somebody who has made the meme that I've had stuck in my head for this, like this moment right now. Has somebody done the Undertaker thing with the 24-1?
The streak ending.
The streak is over. Like I need someone to know this. I need someone to do this.
You do it.
I will as soon as we get off of here. I'm gonna make that meme.
You can multitask.
It's a meme. I need to be like focused on the meme. You know, that's how art is created. You don't multitask while creating art.
Somebody dug up by the way, this is hilarious that anybody would just have this on standby. Somebody had a screenshot of me from 2021 saying, if the Ravens ever lose a preseason game again, I will walk into a public library and saying, I'm a little teapot. And somebody just tweeted at me that they just had that. So kudos to you, man, for...
Well, I will say Hawks fans screen capped and kept my take that Derrick White was going to be a better long-term pro than Trey Young.
Oh, by the way,
I
JP,
get that once a year.
somebody did tweet at me under the I'm a little teapot thing with the streak is over with the Ravens logo over Undertaker's face. So yeah, somebody did.
There it is.
I love
Man,
that.
what a wild streak.
Final.
I can't believe he has that from 2021. Shout
Right?
out to 49ers Gab.
He just randomly has this from. So don't retweet it, Swords.
He's
You think I
chaos.
wanted to? I don't have a choice.
Oh
You
my
do it-
goodness.
Wait,
I do
Jarrett.
do this to myself so much.
Jarrett, you actually have.
That one, I think, nah.
No, you have to do
No,
it.
2 years.
You have made your bed. You
I
must
think that
lie
one was
in it.
very.
I
think
feel
that's
like
very
this
much
you have to
satire.
do more than the eat a shirt. At least the shirt we
Oh,
could
very
go.
much
That's
no.
not healthy.
I still
Like
did
that's
that one.
dangerous. This you just.
I'm doing another one too, by the way. Okay, how about this? This, of course not. But what if the Raiders win 12 games? Because then I've got to get a tattoo of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Ooh. That's not a bad tattoo to have, though. That's a
Handsome
handsome
guy.
tattoo.
I don't know. I don't know where I'd get it, but
Like, are we
Mm.
talking like full body, like Jimmy Garoppolo? Like, is this like a full body Jimmy Garoppolo on your body, or just like his face?
Ooh.
I don't know yet.
Because I feel like there are levels. Like, if you
I would
get
just do
another
face.
man's like full body tattooed on you,
That's
I have
tough.
serious questions.
Who's
So,
the Impractical Joker who has Jaden Smith fully
That's-
tattooed on him?
It's probably Sal.
Yeah, I think he lost a bet and he has like the full. Doesn't it? It's a full.
It's
Jalen.
Jaden Smith's face. I don't think it's his full body, but it's like on his thigh.
Okay, but it's a big face. It's a big
It is
face
a big
version.
face.
It's not like a little, like it's kind of hidden. It's very clearly Jaden. Yeah, Jaden Smith. Okay,
Maybe,
JP.
I would do
Yeah.
that.
there you go.
Buy a tattoo of Jimmy G.
Yeah, there you go. Because that doesn't come up that much. JP. Oh, Evan had a face. That was a Evan.
Please don't get a chat tattoo under any circumstance whatsoever of Jimmy G.
No, couldn't do it.
My significant
JP, the
other
final
would not
one
do
here
that.
tonight. Of course not. Obviously not. But what if?
Obviously not. But what if the Packers were right all along?
Oh,
What if the
he saved the best for last.
What if
That's a good
Jordan
one.
Love is actually good and they keep doing this thing of bringing it, of like fostering up another quarterback who's actually legitimately great? One, this is a two-parter. Two, the Jets completely implode. Like this thing is bad from the jump. The vibes are horrendous. Aaron Rodgers is like getting pissed off on the sidelines. Nate Hackett is up there eating the toaster strudel during the games, not actually doing anything. What if Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur were right all along? What if this was an Aaron Rodgers problem and they go on to not only do the Packers win the division, but they're legitimately very good in the NFC?
Like win a playoff game in the NFC, and the Jets are just garbage.
Like the Jets are the worst team in that division.
Oh my goodness, that's good, JP.
Like
I
not
love
only like Jets missed the playoffs. Like that's the thing. Not only would the Jets miss the playoffs, they do not own that first round pick if Aaron Rodgers plays all the games.
I think they would be in a similar situation that Denver's in right now then, because like what else are you gonna do? You don't have a first round pick to get anybody worth a damn. You got money tied up into Rodgers. That would be very, very parallel to what's going on in Denver right now. Not as much money, I don't think, as Russ is getting, and it would be a little bit easier to get out of, but they already, they extended him, they gave him his money, not as much as he wanted, in Green Bay, but still a lot of money tied up, and they'd be basically tied to him next year. There's not a whole hell of a lot they could do. Like,
who gets the blame here? You can't.
You clean house. Like everybody's out in that scenario.
Everybody's gone.
I mean, I don't know if you get rid of Hackett because he's Aaron Rodgers' guy.
No, they're all gone. There's no way. I think they're all cleaned house.
So,
I think it's over.
I think Salah is gone, which would be which would kind of suck because that defense is very good, and you're potentially going through another scheme change. You don't know who you're bringing as head coach, but they have to be Aaron Rodgers' friend.
Oh my God, Mike McCarthy gets one final chance after getting fired by the Dallas Cowboys in the middle of this season, and he takes over next year for his final swan song, reunited with Aaron Rodgers to get one more ring together.
This is insane long-term booking.
And then Kevin James gets to play Mike McCarthy in the Jets Super Bowl movie.
This is like like
fantastic.
Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens level storytelling where they have to get back together. I don't know, man.
Wide receivers coach Jake Cumrow.
I just think
Jordy Nelson will be the new head coach of the New York Jets.
100% is going to be the offensive coordinator.
The avenue for the Jets being bad and the Packers being really good, I think that's a universe that can actually happen this year. There are far too many combustible elements with
it's a greater than 20% chance.
And the Packers are going to be good.
I love this. Evan hates this. Evan hates this. Packers are going to be great.
I'm on board with Team Packers are going to be good as well.
The NFC North fans are going to hate this year so much. This is going to be one of the all-time worst NFC North fan years because they thought they were moving on because if you're my age, you've just grown up with Favre and Rodgers back-to-back if you're a Lions, Bears, or Vikings fan. And you're like, we finally got through it. The Lions are the preseason favorite to win the division. Rodgers is out.
Jordan Love is just
comes right in.
Aaron Rodgers wins the division right away. I would be pissed off.
I'd be sick. I'm finding a new team. I'm not doing this. We're not doing this for another decade. I can't.
I would just be like, yeah, man, I got to enter free agency as a fan. I can't keep doing this. But 2024 free agents for the Jets, if this thing does kind of implode. Carl Lawson, Corey Davis, Dwayne Brown, Jordan Whitehead, Bryce Huff, Quentin Jefferson, Randall Cobb, Greg Zuerlein, Billy Turner. Hey, man.
I ain't coming back if it goes.
If you don't win it now, you might be kind of hamstrung, especially because you're going to have to pay Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the Packers might have won the breakup.
Is there a world, okay, since we're doing this weird long-term booking stuff, is there a a world where, let's say, Saleh is no longer the head coach. Like a Remember the Titans situation happens, and he's the defensive coordinator for the new staff. Like if they hire Ben Johnson, let's say from Detroit, and he's like, you know what, Saleh, like I know things are weird right now, but like I was gonna try to hire you as my defensive coordinator. It just so happens I'm with the Jets now. You want to stay here and just be my DC?
Why would I take a demotion?
Yeah.
Why would I take a demotion?
Plenty of head coaches that get fired will be an OC for a year or two or a DC and then come back.
Not
and
with the same franchise.
No, yeah, he's got to go
You
somewhere
know how
else.
awkward that would be? Like, imagine Ben Johnson makes like one small mistake and Robert Saleh's over his ear. Like, yeah, you know, me personally, I wouldn't have done that if I was a head coach. I wouldn't take that level of disrespect.
Your mic just went nuts, man.
I think
is Robert Saleh holding you at gunpoint right now? What the hell's happening?
I mean, look, man. I just think there's
the takes are too hot.
The takes are way too hot. I do also think there was another one that I had of like obviously not, but obviously not. But what if the Buccaneers win that division?
Oh no.
What if the Buccaneers what if Baker Mayfield actually does
Baker has like a Geno Smith?
What if Baker does the Geno Smith?
Oh my God!
Like, look, man.
Somebody in Tampa Bay is going to look really smart.
It's anybody's division. It really is anybody's division. Like, the Panthers' offensive line still is a work in progress. Falcons may or may not have a quarterback. And
doesn't matter. Did you see those Bijan runs? Did you see it's unbelievable how much better than Bijan is than everybody else in the football field. Like out of the gate.
You're trying to recreate the Tennessee Titans, maybe not without having like Derrick Henry.
I mean, you don't need Derrick Henry when you have Tyler Algier, Cordero Patterson, and Bijan Robinson. You have a three-headed monster. Who cares?
Okay. If I
best year two receiver in football.
If I have three $5 bills and you have one $20 bill, who has more money?
I don't like the question.
All right, then. And then,
that was really good, JP.
I think the Saints have an easy schedule. I think their offense might be kind of good.
Oh, no.
But what if the Buccaneers win? What if the Buccaneers win this thing?
Let me one up you with that, JP. Not Baker Mayfield. What if Kyle Trask just balls?
All right, let's chill out. Let's chill out.
I think we've crossed the lexicon.
Let's just relax.
You didn't see that throw to Trey Palmer a few days ago? It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Trey Palmer had to tip it back to himself to catch it. Let's not act like this ball was under.
Also, that should be the alternative NFL league. Like, I would watch NFL or Wednesdays where it's just all the backup quarterbacks who aren't very good. They get their own league and they bad balls. Like, it's just tons of bad balls and receivers having to do crazy stuff to make catches. That'd be fun. I'd love an alternative NFL where just a bunch of bad quarterback play with a bunch of elite NFL players. Like, you're not like a season or in a league where everybody else is good except the quarterbacks. That'd be fun.
I tried to think of one with the quarterbacks, but none of the what ifs are like, oh, I guess I have.
Well, hold on. You can save some of these because I want to do this for 2 weeks. I think this can, and this was a hit, and I think this can be a hit with our listeners and watchers. So we can save these. I think this will be good. And now we have a good feel for what next week will be like. So I think this is fun. It's gonna be hard to top a couple of these with the Packers and Belichick and potentially firing Mike Tomlin and company, and then Brock Purdy's untimely injury.
We fired Bill Belichick.
Yes.
On this very production.
Mike Tomlin and Bill Belichick simultaneous coaching free agents. That'll be an interesting offseason.
And I broke Brock Purdy's leg.
And Evan tried to murder Brock Purdy.
And assumed that we thought he meant the Alex Smith 49ers injury. Unbelievable.
I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids.